Okay, sorry about that. We got it figured out what was going on there. We were having a problem with, and this is where echoing out the actual SQL statement and trying it in PHP worked well for us. We were having a problem where not having these quotes around these keywords that we were concatenating together uh, was giving us a problem, and the SQL statement it thought that Tommy John 3, which was being placed in here, was a field name in the database that it was trying to search on. And so, you know, echoing out the SQL statement and having that there was helpful. So now what we have happening is we are putting our SQL statement together here on line 13. We are querying the database with the link that's provided to us by our db.inc.php and our SQL statement. And then we are creating an array here using MySQL fetch array and the result of this being fired here. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm printing the recording down here, just printing out the entire array with print R inside of content. And if I save now and come back over here, you can see where I've already done that. So really quick, let me go back to our login page and let's try a couple logins. So now if I log in as Tommy John 4, ABC 123 ABC, the query is going to fail. There is no such user. So we'll do stuff in a minute to handle that. If I do Tommy John 3 and the incorrect password, so 123123, again, nothing. But if I do the correct password, Tommy John 3, ABC 123 ABC, my go-to bank password, now we're being given an array with a user ID key that we can use. We're basically just saying if user ID is has a value here, then we can continue and do a couple things to start our session. Okay, so here's our user ID. All right, and basically what we're saying is if user ID is 0, whoops. Oh, yeah, it'd help if that were inside the quotes. All right, go away, 1Password. Okay, so here we're going to start a session, and if we do a login with a bogus password or bogus username, we're being told to go away. Or, you know, something more useful would be to take people back to login.php. So let's take care of that first. Let's be nice, and we'll say, actually, let's bring this all down into our content area here real quick. Okay, so this should be nice because now we'll log in as Tommy John 5 ABC. Blah, blah, blah. It's not going to find a match. It's going to take us here, and it'll say try logging in again. That's very nice. Okay, but what do we want to have happen if we have a successful login? Well, there's a couple things that we would like to have happen. And if you go over to the finished area right here, you'll see that. Okay, again, we got this if statement here saying if user ID is greater than 0. If user ID is greater than 0, we don't want to stick around here. We want to go to location product show.php. But in order to signify to all of our other pages that we are logged in here, we can store things in what are called session variables, and those are illustrated right here. Session variables are variables that are available to your script, and you have to use session start here. And again, if you're using a framework, this is something that's available to you like kind of automatically. But if you're using a session variable, I can put this and I can declare this session logged in here and then get that value on another page. Okay, I can also unset the value here like this. Okay, so first of all, why don't we, as a proof of concept, take things to session start, and we're just going to steal session of logged in equals true. Okay, and then we're going to put that header in there with the location of product show.php, meaning a couple different things. If we come to this page, we fire this SQL looking for a user, and we find a match, user ID is greater than 0, then our session is going to begin. We can declare session variables like logged in and grab them later. And then we are going to shuttle somebody over to product show.php. Let's open product show.php real quick too. Okay. Even though we don't need it on here, what we can do is actually, why don't we put it at the bottom of the page here. If, and I'll say is set. I think we used is set the other day. Session logged in, echo your log, well, gotta escape that, logged in right now. Okay, so if this was successful, then it'll pick up that session logged in was set earlier here, okay? And it will echo you're logged in right now. So let's go ahead and try that. I'm going to log in with Tommy John 3, I think, ABC 123 ABC, and is looking at the MD5 version of that password and saying I have a match. It has brought us to product show.php, and it is not doing what I thought it would do down here at the bottom. How come? What did I do wrong? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're going to put session start in our header.php, meaning it's going to be looking for those session variable. I guess that it needs that not only to set those and start the session, but it needs to start the session on every page in order to have session variables available to it. Okay, and so by the same token, we could have a log out page that uses unset and stuff like that. But what we want to be able to know how to do is boot people. Okay, so we could do that in a couple different places. We could do it from each individual script, or, and in fact, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We want to boot people. Now that we can have the ability to start a session on each page, we can access the logged in session variable that we have here, okay, using code like this. All right, so let's actually take that and do the inverse of that, which means going to a page like, I don't know, let's protect something like company insert. So we want people to insert companies. So what we can do here is, if session logged in is not set, we can put in a header again. It says product show.php. All right, and so a couple things. We need to be able to unset this really quick, so I'm going to put that in here and actually steal that code from GitHub. I'm just going to start our session and unset logged in, like we have going on in the example. Okay, so now if we log in, and our way of logging out and unsetting logged in will be to log in incorrectly. I know that's kind of backwards and everything like that, but that's okay. Okay, so we are starting our session here in header.inc.php, and we come over to company insert.php, and we say, if this session variable isn't there, then we're going to bounce people out to product show.php. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that. Let's insert product here. We already have a session variable. It allows us in. Now let's go to login, and I'm going to log in with a bogus username, okay? And this time, what is going on here? Maybe we don't need session start now that we are using it in header PHP. So let's do that. Okay. All right. So now if we go to insert company, it has taken us to product show. So it's effectively protecting this page. We could protect insert product. So go to product insert.php and take this business over there too. So where is that company insert? We can protect product insert the same way. And what's another one? We can protect product edit. Okay, so here's the end result. If we go to insert a company, it says nope. If we go to insert a product, it tells us no. If we go to edit this product, it tells us no. Okay, and we could also say, don't allow it to delete this product. You have this session variable that basically says I'm logged in right now, and we're checking for the presence of it. but you can use it to do more than just set the header and kick people out. You can use it to control the visibility of these things. So if we wanted to, we could take this code and go to header.inc.php, and over here we can say really we want to say if logged in is present. If this is present, then we do want insert product to show. So how am I trying to put this together here? Let's do it this way. This will keep it cleaner. And same thing with, if we wanted to have a log out page down here, you could use this again. But we're just going to use this to say, if you're logged out and you don't have a session, this is what you can see. Search, show product, show company, search products, and register account or log in. Now we go to log in and log in with a legit password and username. Now the nav bar should open back up again, and it does. So we have the ability to go to in the insert product form again and the insert company form once again. So that is just the basics of establishing a session and storing session variables and keeping user authentication credentials in a table in MySQL. Okay, so we've kind of gone over the pros and cons of using stuff like MD5, and so that's suitable for this presentation, but if you want to learn more about it, I'll post the link about what you ought to use instead, and we'll also look at PHP frameworks and what they bring to the table for things like user authentication in our next video. Okay, the finished version of this code, or something like it really, so it's not exactly the same, is up on GitHub, so you can link to it from the keynote presentations which we've provided up on the Lore website. And like I said at the beginning of the last class, if you go to the Lore website, I have the starter repository here in the Girl Develop It Intro PHP MySQL. We've updated this. So this starter repository should get you up to speed for the last video with the includes and templatizing everything. So you might want to do that video first and then come back and do this video with user authentication. Sorry, I'm saying that at the very end here, but that's what's available to you there. And we'll post information about the password hashing, and again, we will come back together and do a live Q&A of some kind with Google Hangouts if anybody has any questions. You should also feel free to email me at tjnicolaitis@gmail.com if you are running into any problems. Okay. Hope this video was informative. Hope I didn't mess it up too much there in the middle. We'll see how that goes. And thanks for your interest in this stuff. Let me know if there's anything that I or any of the TAs can do to help.